Welcome to the Nighttime Show. I'm here with head writer Matt Walker. I'm the guest announcer, Logan Guntzelman. Our guest today, Henry Zebrowski, who's on Crashing on HBO. Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell on Adult Swim, and also that movie, Wolf of Wall Street. And now introducing your host slash Walmart's manager of the month, 13 months running. It's Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Hey, you did it. You're like the opposite of Mike Black.
Yes.
Normally we have Mike Black, who's our announcer usually, who literally almost has a coronary every time he does it. So I thought you would be the perfect opposition to that. It's very nice. Thank you, Logan, for being here.
Oh, thank you.
If we took all our guests, if we took all our announcers and put them like Russian dolls, Logan would be on the inside, and then probably Mike Glazer, and then
Then
Robbie,
and
then Mike Black.
Mike Black? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and I like the slow roll in.
Yeah,
because I'm a yeller.
Because we have metal playing behind us. From our
Iron Knot.
We have a house band called Iron Knot who does our live show, and so we feature their music always on the
Fantastic
on the show.
band.
And Logan is going to be on the live show, which is. I believe was April 22nd.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this one's going to air.
Yeah, but April 22nd is Logan was on there. So if you go to YouTube and you look up the April 22nd nighttime show, we'll have clips and funny things and all
I'll
sorts
bring
of
the same energy.
So that's about staying consistent.
Yeah. Keep it. Yeah, exactly, just like that. Henry, very excited to have you. I'm stuttering over myself. I'm so excited.
Henry, is that a finger cut?
I cut off the top of my thumb, the top eighth of my thumb, chopping garlic. I was screaming about my manager at my girlfriend, which is very sad because she's a hostage
you were screaming
to me
at
in my
your
life.
girlfriend.
I was like talking about show business, yelling about it.
Right.
Distracted. Cut the top eighth inch of my thumb off.
Holy shit!
Literally
Are you
just cut
serious?
it off. I fucked it up. This is like a month, and now this is a month into it.
What were you making?
I was chopping garlic. I was going to make honestly, it was going to be lovely. I had a mixture, a saute mixture of squash and different greens that I would put over with a miso kind of marinade in there that I was
Vaguely
working on as
Asian.
well. Vaguely Asian.
Yeah.
Because I can't go full Asian because I
It
don't
would
have an
be
Asian blood.
faux.
Huh.
Right there.
Wow.
Actually, it's pronounced pho.
Faux. Right there.
Which is also the sound I make when I am stuck inside of a toilet. Leave the lid up. That's a good bit.
Did they reattach the top of your thumb, or is it gone now?
Left it in the garlic. I was
it
bleeding
delicious?
it was just I was bleeding so profusely, and it was just like my girlfriend Natalie Jean is a stunt woman. She's a bunch of shit. But she's like on the ball. She was just like, wrap it up, let's go. Look for the thumb. Can't find it because it was shuffled within the garlic cloves.
Did you mince the tip of your thumb?
I did something to it. I fucked it up.
Is it sewn back on?
No, because I couldn't find it. So they just cauterized it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just
That's
like this.
Cool though. It's kind of badass.
Worst pain. I'll never go.
Terrible
I'm
pain,
weak
I'm sure, yeah.
in the first place. It's not like I think that there's grades of pain. I couldn't get a tattoo. I can't get anything.
So you lost a piece of your thumb is now gone forever.
Yes, it's like a dent. It
His
will be a
dream
dent.
of being a professional thumb wrestler is over.
Okay, so
It
show
is.
me on your thumb. I know that we're on a podcast, but we're talking
Through the very top slither of nail. So that whole mound of meat at the top, and then
Gone.
through the nail.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
my-
And I just
God.
missed the nerve, which would have just made me drop.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, it's again, I'm a comedian. I am not a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I am not trained to withstand torture. I'm weak. I'll say anything. You poke me in the belly button too hard, I'll tell you my fucking bank account.
Yeah.
right.
Like,
yeah,
I'll tell you
sure.
everything you want to know. But it's like, so it was bad. I was screaming and stuff, like very like covered in a cold sweat.
Oh no.
That happened. My dad cut off the tip of his finger in a garage door chain growing up, and I still remember that.
No, not good.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
Yeah, so now I'm like this. So now I have this little hat. I have a thumb hat I've been wearing because now it can't get infected anymore, but the crust over it looks like what I imagine Abe Vigoda looked all over his whole body towards the end.
Right.
Just in terms because when you're old, your skin just frays from sitting on a seat too long.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure
It's
he
like
was
a
just
little beanie.
yeah, it's like a little beanie. It's kind of cute, except for the fact it is gross. So I started wearing like a metallic glove for a while to cover it, but then I looked even more like I'd becoming eccentric since
Or a
moving to Los
thimble.
Angeles.
Have you thought
Yeah.
about a thimble maybe?
Thumb's too thick.
Ooh, that's
You
kind
can
of
get
cool.
a big thimble?
Yeah.
I don't. Can you?
Like maybe
There are
you could
thick-fingered women.
go to the
who
factory
like to
that
sew.
used to make the thimbles from Monopoly because
There
now
you
they
go.
need to make some more. They need a thimble market. You could start that as a fashion trend to be like,
It's
look,
a
make some
solid
big
move.
thimbles.
Thimble. I'm sure the
I'll start it
Amish
as a
have that
trend.
because again, the thick women from the Amish. I think thick women shopping's a really good.com.
Thick
you
women
get,
shopping?
and you get there and it's for about women
I
with
feel
big
like
hands.
you could
big
get that
feet.
at the dress barn. They would have thimbles for big fingers.
Yeah, because it's the dress barn is just sort of like, are all the clothes for horses? I'm not sure. Again, that's a bit.
It's one size fits all. Women and barn animals.
Oh,
It's kind of
that's nice though.
yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
Join us together.
So do you live in Los Angeles now, or you live in back east? Where
I'm
are you
in.
living?
Yeah,
Are you back
I'm
and
here
forth?
now. I'm back and forth a lot, but I'm pretty much here now. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go back to New York, do you have a place in New York, or do you?
Yeah, I got our old apartment in New York. There, I'm
Bi-coastal.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Spreading the brand. It's all about being anywhere and everywhere. Like Pepsi did that smart move with Kendall Jenner.
Brilliant
Yeah,
commercial.
I think again,
So
bring
smart.
the protest movement to them,
Yeah.
to soda. And again, I think brave move, smart move, get the conversation going. That's what I'm doing.
Did you see the post from Martin Luther King's daughter?
Was she upset?
Well,
Why though?
a little bit.
But why was she upset?
She
It was just. I went down to Skid Row. I brought 2 pallets of Pepsis and I handed them out after watching that commercial. And I was like, "Fix yourself. Give yourself a pick me up. Get yourself a Pepsi."
It's so good. She posted, this is no joke, Bernice King, Martin Luther King's daughter, wrote, if only Daddy would have known about the power of Pepsi. How fucking awesome is that?
But he was.
186,000 likes.
But he was a Fanta guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a Fanta guy.
You can't get in there.
He liked the Shasta Cola. He was more
Fresca.
of a
God help
Shasta.
us.
Looks like a Fresca kind of guy
Oh,
to me.
shit. We're all going to hell.
Dude, I feel like we're just we're all sitting. America's sitting in a coffin.
Yeah.
Just pulling the dirt into the coffin like around us. And
Yep.
it's kind of fun. It's kind of
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
to be the release
absolutely.
of it's the end times. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you really can. Speaking of end times, I came to know you through this show. Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I love Adult Swim. Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. Brought me and an old roommate that we hated each other. Me and this guy Doug.
Yeah.
It was Doug Beatty, and
Yep.
we still to this day we do not like each other. All right, we're not friends, but once a week we would sit together. And we would watch that show, and it was the only way that we would get along.
It's like
Yeah.
any family and TV time. I feel
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
are
Basically.
brought together.
I mean,
by
but
that
this
one
guy
moment.
really
Yeah.
didn't like
You
me.
know my
I
favorite
went,
Doug Beatty story.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, it's when you went to go see him do improv.
I went to go see him do improv at UCB without him knowing. I went to surprise him, and guess what he was doing on stage?
What?
A sketch about me.
Wow, isn't
Yeah.
that fun? What do
Yeah.
you think about
Were you painted in a flattering light?
No, I was not. It was all about how I leave my clothes everywhere. Yeah.
Everybody, all right, eat your food. I'll listen to you and your girlfriend
wait.
have sex.
So,
I had a great time.
What were
jerking
his
off to it.
criticisms
Yep.
of you in this sketch? Because
Well, he had like a big fat friend, and he was like,
Okay.
he was like, hey man, you can't leave your clothes all over the floor. Also, why do you use bad language all the time? It's not cool.
Okay.
You don't, it's not cool to use bad language, man. That's what he was saying. And then
Wow.
the guy, he wasn't getting any laughs. It was just very uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I was sitting in the audience going, oh my God, that's literally me. Like he's.
I think he nailed you pretty good there. That's pretty
That's
accurate.
Pretty much. I leave my clothes everywhere, and I use a lot of bad language.
Because it
So-
makes you sad that when it comes down to it, at least you think that the rage that you'd inspire would make a good sketch.
Sure. I'm like, at least make it fucking hilarious.
Come
You
at
know.
me. And then it'll be like, that is me. And then
Yeah.
it could change your life.
Yeah.
By
I'm
seeing yourself
fine
reflected.
to be inspired that way. So, anyways, got into Adult Swim, and then of course, Your Pretty Face comes on the TV one night.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck? This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've
it's
said
a
this
great
before.
show.
Thank you. I've said this before, but if I saw somebody else doing this show, if I saw another man play Gary, I would find him and kill him and take his place. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other. I was just like, I can't believe that it worked out that way. But again, we unite people all over the place. Single people living in their basement, guys on death row, men trapped in a Dunkin' Donuts because they lost their family in a flood. that demographic is what we're looking for.
It's like
Yeah.
3/4 of America
Yeah.
at this point.
People,
pretty much.
besieged by. If you've had a traumatic experience, you're gonna love this show. If you haven't had a traumatic experience, go get one.
Yeah.
Come back to the show.
Then watch it. For those of the audience who don't know what the show's about, it is basically kind of like the Office type, an Office type show.
The first
that
season,
takes place
was definitely
in hell.
Office humor in hell. It was definitely an Office set in hell, and it was like that. But now it's definitely become like Laverne and Shirley set in hell. It's like the sitcom-y like version of it is just really taken over, and it's like degrading. But I think as it degrades, it gets better.
Oh yeah, I love it, and especially that you have guys like Eddie Pepitone on there.
Love him.
Being tortured to death. Being tortured merciful.
He is a perfect comedic entity.
Yeah.
I asked him. We literally were at dinner for the premiere of season 3.5. How they labeled it, and I went to Eddie. I was just like, "How do you get to be?" Like, I was like, I want to be where you are. Like, how do I get to be as funny as you? And he's like, a lifetime of pain. I was like, very good. Oh, good then.
Yeah. So how did that come about for you? How did that show come about? Like, how did you end up getting cast on
Just got that audition.
Yeah?
The way it worked was actually really great. Is that apparently, Dave told me the story is that they, in a list of auditions, they picked out my name because Henry Zebrowski sounds like a Mad Magazine name, and they did it as like a laugh. And I had like a good audition. And then they were like, oh, if they're all like this is going to be great. And then I guess everything else was kind of like, everyone else had a bad day in those rooms.
Yeah.
So I ended up being the top of that heap. And then we just kind of all got along. It was one of those weird things. When I met Dave and Casper, it was like if we had done comedy together in college, like if we had known each other, we would have been doing sketch together probably.
Yeah.
I love those guys. They became like immediate kind of mentors. And yeah, it just worked out. I don't know. How have I ever booked anything? It's all a fucking random crapshoot. I don't sit and pick out scripts.
Well, that's the thing is, Henry's, I really thought that you created that show. That's like from watching how you are on that show, it felt like it was written for you.
They gave me a lot of creative license. They allowed me to improv a great deal. And now you find out that this is what they really like. So now it's like the show is very communal now, which is cool as shit.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But I'm not allowed to touch the scripts. Dave and Casper have a fucking steel grip on
Really?
their scripts. Yeah.
Are they the guys who write everything for
Yes.
the show?
Yeah. And then we have some writers that are coming in now because I think they're getting lazy.
Really?
They're just not working hard.
God, these guys are so lazy.
People just show up just collecting checks.
Do you do the show? Do you shoot the show in Atlanta, or you shoot it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, ATL.
That's everything is out there.
Love
right?
it. Love.
Isn't
Atlanta.
it all most of Adult Swim stuff shot out there? Not everything, but
The good stuff is shot in L.A. and New York. All the stuff that they pay attention to is shot in L.A. and New York.
So the good stuff's in L.A., New York, but our show's in Atlanta.
Yes. They keep anything that's celebrity based is normally shot in L.A. and then we're viewed. They always have like one Atlanta show, and so we're the ones where we get to like do and like, but we're like the naughtiest show, and that whole crew is like, it's hard to. It's just fucking punk rock. But a television show. Like, we work out, like, it's almost irresponsible. It's actually technically bad. Like, we're, like, getting washed in a parking lot. It's like, everybody's into it. It's like witches and punks. And it's like, everybody, like, yeah, I don't know how to put it. It's got black magic all through it. Shane Morton's a registered Satanist. Got me into the Satanism movement.
I didn't know Satanists had to. That seems anti-Satanist to have to register.
Yeah. You could get a card, but it's just a bilking thing. It's essentially just a scam. But
Right.
they know
Like a
it.
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, you pay money and you get just a little business card.
that says I'm a Satanist.
That says I'm
Yeah,
a
it says
Satanist.
Church of Satan.
Wow.
Which is hilarious.
Member of the Church of Satan.
Yeah, but you do it to get the card.
You do it for the card.
Yeah, it's fun.
I understand
You
that.
could set up your own website that like knocks them off and just sell your own Church of Satan cards, and who's gonna know?
You'll get some, but at the same time,
They probably let you in with
Satan-
a discount for
Satan
doing
will get
something
pretty
like
much.
that.
They'll like.
I mean,
work.
Satan's on his show. You
Yeah.
know, like you should get a discount.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Great, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
great. You're spreading the message."
You guys should go in costume. Have you ever been to the Coke factory, the Coke Museum in Atlanta?
No, I still haven't gone.
I did a cross-country road trip with my family, and we went to the Coke Museum, and I really think that you guys in full costume from that show, like, they're not going to turn away a paying customer. It's Coca-Cola.
Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? It's like in Atlanta, I said now they're used to it because there's so many horror shows now shooting in Atlanta between The Walking Dead and like now Dana Gould's new show, Stan versus Evil is there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And so they don't even care because we used to do as a joke thing. There's like a Dunkin' Donuts down the street from our studios.
Yeah.
And so I used to drive over and be like, try to do something and they just stare at you. Like, it's already violent enough here. that I don't give a
Another
shit.
one. Yeah. What show are you doing?
Which
it's
one
like
are you?
Vancouver. You ever been to Vancouver to shoot something?
No, but it's like that. Where
Yeah,
it's like,
fucking
whatever.
Vancouver.
It's
Like
all filming
Yeah,
now?
we were shooting the Big Time Rush movie in Vancouver, and we were in our car, and we were driving by a river, and I go, wow, look at that river, and our driver goes, oh yeah, Kristen Stewart when they were doing Twilight a couple months ago made me drive down there and so she could go stand by the water. What a fucking weirdo. I was like, wow. Oh, okay. All right. But it was pretty, yeah. I mean, they just have everything, films there, so that no one's fazed by anything.
No.
There was a girl that I dated in Vancouver who thought that I was the stand-in for a character on the show. And
That's
I was like,
great.
and so she thought I was
She
a
looked at
stand-in.
you. She was like, he can't possibly be on the show.
Yeah.
She liked you for you. She wasn't trying to get into the Hollywood machine.
Not at all.
Not at all. That Vancouver machine.
That's
big.
Yeah.
She was the
worked
aerialist,
on,
right?
Yep, and she worked. Yeah, she was an aerialist and a Cirque du Soleil performer and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was no joke. It was no joke.
Wow.
But Mohawk, the whole bit. It was pretty great. But then she same weird situation. She was she was working on Noah that movie, that big movie.
Oh,
and Russell Crowe was on the set, and she was like, "Cool, who are you visiting today? Do you know anybody that's in the movie?" He was like, I'm Russell Crowe.
I think she's just got that face blindness that Brad Pitt says he has.
Yeah, she just doesn't know. She doesn't know anything about the like aside from the work that she does in the business, she doesn't know any movies and TV stuff.
That's so freeing.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so much more fun.
That's so nice. LA must be so much
easy.
nicer when you could just be, like you just don't know that you just farted.
Oh yeah.
On like God knows the Anthony Quinn. I don't know why I chose him.
When my mom was with me when we met the president of Nickelodeon, and the president of Nickelodeon's name is Seema, and my mom goes, "Oh, nice to meet you. What's your name?" And she goes, "Seema." And my mom goes, "Seaman?" He goes, "No, it's Seema." And my mom goes, "Seaman."
Mom, you are not helping me.
Yeah, this is not good, Mom. Yeah, she was like, "You can change your name, and people change their name all the time."
Yeah, that is just difficult.
Yeah.
Being like, she's a mom.
Yeah, just leave her be.
Let her out.
Hey, so I as always, we always have Fireball whiskey with us whenever we tape an episode of our show. We had the Kaplan twins on. We gave them a bottle. We give bottles away a lot to people. Sometimes
It's good stuff. People like it.
People love that stuff. I actually have a bottle with me right here, and I'm gonna drink some of it. But if you listen when I open the top of this bottle, you can hear in the bottle. You can hear the Fireball whiskey talking, and it's
You can't hear Fireball
talking.
talking.
You totally can. Hang on, let me take the lid off. Ready?
Yoga, the man. I could be the man.
There
I'm
he is.
gonna be the man today.
That's the
We're
sound.
gonna have fun.
That's the sound of the Fireball
Yeah.
whiskey inside
it's
the
like
bottle.
It's like encouraging you.
It does. Hey there, Fireball whiskey.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm so excited. I can't wait to drink you.
Man, stick it. Get rid of all this small talk. Just drink me already so I can have some fun in your
All
tummy,
right,
bro.
get in my tummy. Get in my tummy.
Well, make it happen. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Oh. How is it down there?
Oh, my goodness, dude. It's so cool down here, but, dude, what the hell did you eat for lunch?
Oh.
Oh, my God. It
I mean-
smells like dog shit down here, bro.
Oh well, hopefully that Fireball whiskey will make things smell just a little bit better in there.
I can't, I'm going to have to hang out in your stomach for a while and make it smell good. So,
try.
keep drinking that shit, bro.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to drink a little bit more. Here we go.
Here
A
we
little
go,
more.
my friends. Yeah, we're having a party in Steven's stomach.
Drown out these
It's
horrible
awesome.
choices I've made.
Woo!
Oh, Fireball whiskey. Fireball, it makes you feel good and it makes your stomach smell better. All right, back to the show.
Let her go.
Where did you get started? Where did you grow up? First of all, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Queens, New York City.
In the Queens.
Queens. I'm walking here. I am walking here. You see, can you hear my accent?
That's a really good New York
Forget about
accent.
Forget about it, my friend. I grew up in Queens. My dad was a cop. They didn't really give a shit. We couldn't have been farther from entertainment world, even though we lived in New York. I didn't get into theater until I got to Florida. I went to Florida for high school and college, and then I've just been doing this. I just moved back to New York after college, and my sketch group Murder Fist, we all moved together. And then we did that for 15 years.
Wow.
And then we started doing everything. My podcast network, Cave Comedy Radio, all started out in New York. Like last podcast, all that kind of happened. We just sat and did work, and now I'm
last podcast on the left.
Yeah.
Big show.
starting to be getting up there.
Nominated for
webbish.
A webbish. A
Yeah.
webbish.
Big shoe, really big shoe.
Really big
Big
shoe.
shoe.
But yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
listening gets that reference at all, I would imagine.
Why not?
I don't think we don't get the Ed Sullivan audience listening to this podcast.
I don't know. We may have probably not.
They gotta know Ed Sullivan.
I laughed because you all did it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, they all know it.
They
So
all
I
know it.
probably.
Yeah.
Did you do it's mostly sketch work?
All
or,
sketch. I did sketch before you had to go to school to do sketch, like you have to do now.
Oh shit! Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Back when it just used to be friends could just do sketch, and you'd get up and do weird indie shows, and it wasn't indie; it was just shows. They were just shows, and now I don't, which is very strange. Where it was like a thing. I remember as that was happening, I was like, "Why are you paying $500 to do sketch? I do it for free, and still no one cares." You know what I mean? It's like, you can do the same thing for free.
Were there other people in your group that were that have gone on to do stuff, or did they all kind of go off in their own way?
A couple people start doing their own shit. It's like we're still doing stuff together. Well, I mean, like Murderfist is not broken up. We're just still doing it. It's just we'll never say broken up. But my two guys, Eddie Larson writes for Jeff Ross, and now he's out here, and we're working on shit together. And Holden McNeely and Eddie and I all wrote my character special for Netflix together. That it was essentially like putting Murderfist on Netflix.
They're
was
like
your- what was your
they're like One
characters?
Direction. They're not broken up, and they're all very handsome.
We're all very
yeah, there
handsome.
you go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nothing's changed.
What was the special on Netflix?
There was a show called The Characters. It got a lot of traction.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
know this show.
I had one of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I did one where it was just basically we just put essentially 15 years of Murderfist into half an hour on Netflix.
How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, it was cool as shit. It was so cool, we ended that series for anybody else to do. You know what I mean? It was
They're
Yeah.
like, we can't improve on this, so we're just gonna have to stop it.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
absolutely.
it was cool as fuck. Yeah, we got to do whatever we want. We had total control. They gave us like a half an hour of Netflix's time.
Oh my god, that's so fucking.
What
was
cool.
kind
cool.
of budget did you have on something like that?
Honestly, it was pretty big. Like everything we asked for, we got pretty much.
Wow.
And we didn't ask for very much because we also didn't realize how much you could ask for until I saw
Yeah.
Paul Downs, and they rented out a fucking a monster truck rally,
Oh wow.
and I was like, oh, we could have done that.
Yeah.
Oh
Like I never
God.
even thought of that.
Yeah, I rented puppets from my creative team in Atlanta for Pretty Face. I just rented puppets from them, which was fucking cheap
Yeah.
as balls. So it's like we came in under budget for them.
Yeah, John Early. Lots of,
John Early, Kate Berlant, Lauren Lapkus,
These are all very,
Tim
very
Robinson. It was great, dude. It was a really good opportunity. But it was just so different that I don't think the audience understood what was happening. Because it really just, if you just put it, they put it as a series. But essentially it was it 8 different specials?
Okay.
Yeah, like Lauren Lapkus is so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she's the best.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you know? There's a few shows on TV that I watch. Do you have what do you watch right now? Like what are your shows?
I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of docs and movies. We're big into horror, of course, because it's my whole life. Recently, we try to watch Rome, which we go back. We watch new shit. I'm kind of watching Fargo, but mostly we're rewatching Twin Peaks because of the new episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching the Crashing, this HBO show that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
She's
fucking
great.
shit, it's
I mean,
such a
Pete
good
Holmes.
show.
I almost feel like now they'll rev up for the second season. Now that it got picked up, and Pete Holmes can be even more of himself. Like once he opens up, he's a joke machine to the point where you wonder what's like wrong, what happened to him.
Yeah.
That he's such a good joke machine that he just can like run bits like crazy. He's so good.
He would sit around with, I guess him and Sarah Silverman became friends because he would sit around in her house and she would talk about, oh, I'm doing this bit. And he would go, here's a funny idea.
Tags.
Here's a tag. And just tag the shit out of it.
Ding, ding, ding.
And he said it really ingratiated him into the comedy world because it was, being able to do stuff like that. And I love that that this show is doing well for him because when he had the talk show and the talk show ended, I was like,
That was like a
bitch.
blow for like our generation. I was like, fuck. That was like a part of like we were supposed to get up over on that. But then it's good. Yeah, Crashing is great. And then also like we're shooting on 35 millimeter film.
Oh my
like that's the other
God,
thing.
really?
Thousands of dollars being thrown in a bucket. Us improvising. No scripted dialogue, essentially. By the end, everybody's just improvising. And so I was just being like, you're just really like Judd Apatow's got a lot of fucking pull.
Oh my god! And you're playing a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
On the show, and like an open mic.
Yeah, an open
comedian.
micer, like essentially
It's
based
so
off
funny.
of. I took two guys and I put them together. It was like because they wanted There was like, we want the guy who wears all black ranting comedian. And I was like, I know two of those guys and me because I'm one. And so a part of it was the most intimidating thing in the world, which is being like, hey, Henry, could you put together 8 minutes to stand up for Judd? Like literally just put together 8 minutes. Like they're like blink, 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 because I was with Jermaine and Aparna and they have 8 minutes to burn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I had to write a set and then do it cold. And then I did it cold, and then I met with Beth Stelling, and so we sat and we worked it a little bit, but it was like, I know cadence, so I just did like stand-up cadence, and then also like the idea of free-flowing, I just need to write 3-sentence of paragraph with a punchline into and fold jokes into it, and it was pretty fucking cool. I got like a weird little crash course.
Oh my
But I feel
God.
like I did like fine.
You did great. Like your character is so fucking. It's like the most typical. Like you see it all the time. 'Cause,
full
like,
of
there's
rage, thinks he's Doug Stanhope. Like
God,
because that's the idea.
There's a moment, Matt. That if you haven't seen this, it's so fucking hilarious. There's a moment where Henry's on stage in an empty comedy club. The only other people in the room are two other comics.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there watching him, and he's doing stand-up, and Pete walks in and goes, what's going on here? And he goes, I worked all damn day handing out flyers for this. Can I have this, please? Can I have this moment? He goes, all right. And then he just goes, so anyways.
He just like blows right past me.
Just working out his material on a microphone in front of two guys. And
Been
like,
there, done that.
Yeah, we've both been doing stand-up for about 14 years.
Yeah.
And we've done shows, in like, shithole fucking bars.
Constantly.
Matt once did a show on a fucking
It's just the 8th anniversary of the time I did stand up on a bus. They have those they have buses that take people to casinos, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we're gonna have entertainment on this bus to take people to this casino. They'll entertain
What
them
about stand-up
on the trip
comedy?
out there. So it's like, okay, fine. I take the gig. They're gonna pay me $100. Fine, I'm happy. Get there to go on the bus. Two people showed up to take the bus with stand-up comedians, and I was like, I still want my $100, so I'm gonna do stand-up for two people on a bus. It was a 65-year-old Jewish woman and her mother.
Excellent.
Just my crowd.
So
That's
her body.
50 bucks
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
So I
She had to
go,
be dead.
and like the first comic goes up, and the second comic goes up. We had to do 20 minutes each, and then it was my turn to go up, and I go up. At this point, the older of the two women was like getting a little tired, so halfway through my set, she rolled over to go to sleep. So I basically walked half the audience.
One
the
just
bus.
died.
She might
One
have died.
essentially died.
She might have died, and
It's
then
possible.
we had to wait at the casino because we're up in the middle of the desert at Casino Morongo by Palm Springs. So you just have to wait around for 8 hours so those same two people can get back on the bus at the end of the day and come back.
So
Yeah.
it was both ways.
We didn't have to perform on the way back. We
Yeah,
were
then
lucky.
you could
Only
just
one-
sit and drink
we
out of
only
a
had to perform
Kettle
on the
One
way
bottle
out,
in your-
and then we just sat around. It was like, what a terrible decision we all made. And then it was our friend who started this company to like entertain people on his bus, and it was a one and done deal. Like he wrapped the bus. He got a bus and he paid to have it
Jesus.
wrapped with like his logo. It was like,
We did a
he
show
had to
to-
spend $5,000 on this thing. It's crazy.
Him and I did a show together at USC, and it was like one of these gigs that's just the sweetest fucking gig. Like they take such good care of you. They feed you, and then it's nearby us, right? And we're in this theater.
It's like, this is the
and
dream.
They gave us like
my
a grab
God.
bag with like terry cloth robes and like these plush bath towels and like
And they
all kinds of
paid
stuff.
really, really well.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is fucking awesome. And it was just
So
him
what's
and me.
gonna happen?
Yeah, so they go, we want you guys to book a show here every month. Can you book a show here every month? We're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we
we're
can.
so
Let's
in,
do
right?
this, yeah.
So they're like, here's the budget. It's like a couple grand. They offered us
What?
to fucking book this show, and we're like, this is gonna be a fucking blast. And we're like, all right, here's the headliner. And we sent over, we go, this is who we booked. And it was a comic. We don't have to say who it is,
Yeah.
but we booked
Very good comic.
a comic who's been on Conan like 15 fucking times.
Yeah, like an established guy.
An established, well-known guy you could see at the fucking Comedy Store tonight. Like a great guy. And they go, little offensive. It's a
Oh
little
no,
offensive.
it's Christian
It's
trap.
not our stuff. Can you have anybody else? Then you can say. And we're like, all right, fine. Whatever. Here's someone else. We send over someone else. They go, it's just a little bit too racial for us. We're a little. And we're like, what the fuck?
what do you want to do then?
We sent, I think, 4 people, and the 4th person, they were like, we don't know, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I'm out. I
you
don't
should
have
just
time for that kind of shit.
bag that money and it just done the whole hour yourself. Just being so how generous was Jesus Christ? And you're like, just put your hands together for
So
the
good.
fishes.
So good.
Oh, this guy.
I'm just still
Water
stuck.
into wine.
I'm stuck on the fact you guys are getting robes in comedy. I'm not at robe level.
Crazy.
You got to get robed.
It was a
Robes.
lot.
Yeah,
It was
robes.
way too. It was a great deal.
I still use the bag they gave me as one of my grocery bags.
See?
My
Still paying
reusable
it.
bags.
Look
It's,
at
You're
that.
still getting
still
paid.
works out.
I love it.
My sketch group was 10 people deep when we arrived to New York. So once we started getting in the world of stand up, because it's like we were the sketch group in the stand up world for a long time, and the best way to get booked in a gig is the fact that we're 10 people in an audience. As soon as that's how we started. Was like you book Murder Fist, you got at least 10 people there, and we also buy a bunch of drinks because we're alcoholics and we're big laughers. So it's like it was like a perfect little open mic night until everybody around us started leveling up, and then we got to level up.
Now, when you say when you say that you like to drink,
Yeah.
well, I happen to know that, which is why I brought you a bottle of Fireball whiskey.
No.
Fireball.
You're the best.
Yeah, well, we like drinking that stuff. We drink it a lot.
I'll take
so
it.
It's for you.
Thank
It's
you.
yours.
Yeah.
It's yours, pal.
Yeah, this is for my family.
Yeah, you
give it
bring
to my
that home and
family.
bring it to your fam, and let them make horrible choices with you.
I
Because-
love the idea if I ever have a son or a daughter or a child.
yeah.
Just give them little nips.
Little
I don't
nips.
really understand that. It's because even as a baby, my mom openly confessed that I was such a bad traveler and I was such a bad little kid. I was like so loud and very intense. Not bad, just like disruptive to life.
Sure.
I was just rough to be around and stuff. She used to just Benel drill me till I went to sleep all the time.
What?
Just do that.
Well, you turned out great.
Look at me. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
But
You're
it's like,
fine.
you could just put a kid on screensaver
Yeah.
for a little bit. Give him a little bit of Benadryl. Go
Well,
right to
didn't
sleep.
some flight attendant get in trouble for that a while ago? She snuck a Tylenol PM into some crying kid's snack or something.
Boom. Put him right out.
Or something like that, which, I mean,
Good for her.
I would do that.
at least
too.
they gave
Fuck those
snacks on that
kids.
flight.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
like
You
it's
don't
like
have
putting
kids.
your grandmother to sleep.
Yeah.
Sure, that
Like
that
permanently.
old scenario that
Well,
I've been
not-
Permanently.
Yeah.
Not putting them to sleep.
Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
Nah, I don't. I don't think I'm fertile.
Yeah.
Weed did it.
Weed.
I think weed made him big and slow.
Yeah. Do you smoke a lot of weed?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, God bless.
it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cool for it.
You're pretty cool.
It makes me pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, now
It
I'm back
makes
to
you
the
the
I'm back to
coolest.
the nighttime smoking. That's what I do. I can't do it outside because I get weird. Or if I have
Yeah?
to speak to people, I get weird.
yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah, so I keep it for the nighttime. The
Yeah.
deep night times when we're watching my alien docs or something,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm doing research for the podcast.
Oh, that's good. Do
Yeah,
you do a lot of research for your show?
Hours of research, yeah.
Really?
We take a lot. Our show is pretty detailed.
Tell us about your show.
Well, it's good. Last podcast on the left we do. So every week we do a different topic, either about serial killers, paranormal, the occult, and our goal is to be the most evil / well-researched show. So you have to stand us to get what is probably the best accumulated knowledge about serial killers or various issues about the aliens and the paranormal. Like, I'm the alien guy, so I put together all the alien stuff mostly. But it's like we just did Chris Benoit today, so it's like us doing. We just went through a whole thing, and I had to learn about wrestling, which I've never learned before. And LA's got a bunch of wrestling podcasts, so I listened to it. It's just them being like, this huge man is better than this other huge man. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, I
basically.
don't. But
At
aren't they
this thing
decided
that's
ahead of time?
predetermined who's going to win. Yeah.
Yes. But they have to earn it, kind of. Chris Benoit was talking about how you have to earn it. You know
He
what I mean?
was exceptional. That when that all went down was an era when I was actually still watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I gave it up on
Can
like
you,
10 years ago. But
without ruining your other podcast, I don't know who that is or what happened.
Oh, it's
at
not.
all.
It's not. It is well-known
Well
knowledge. He killed his wife and his son, and then he killed himself on his weight machine.
Yeah.
And they say that it had something to do with. There's many
Steroids.
theories, but it's got either steroids, where it's got to do with the fact that essentially, like after years of concussions, your brain can calcify like it has Alzheimer's, and so there's a part of like he just kind of left his body, and he just freaked out. But he was just about to go win the heavyweight championship. Yeah, he knew he was going
and then
to.
that day they find his body, and then people didn't know the full story yet, and they did a whole tribute to Chris Benoit that night
'Cause it was
on
a Vince
Monday Night
Oh,
Raw.
and they
McMahon's-
found out he was
yeah.
the murderer.
And then the next day they find out
he did
all
it.
that had happened, and then they've never mentioned his name anywhere in relation to WWE ever again.
Yeah, they wiped him clean.
It's
They
like
took
he
him
never
off
He's
all-
like a Voldemort. He who must not
Because
be
there's
named.
famous matches of his where like he's like one of the all-time technical wrestling greats. Like he's this guy from Canada who was like just great at the actual physicality of it.
Yeah.
And they sort of like have wiped him out of their database, like because they have like a WWE channel and stuff, and I don't think they ever show any Chris Benoit. I think he's banned from the channel.
He's banned from the channel. He was a great wrestler, terrible husband and father. Because that's what happens when you end up murdering the whole family.
They all end up
terrible.
Yeah, you bad reviews. You get a 1 star on Parent Yelp if you end the family. And so it's pretty rough. Yeah, he did bad.
Maybe she was really nagging him a lot.
Honestly, what I do like is there's a whole story is that he was
Matt.
given the son HGH
Oh, yeah.
because the son was born really small, and so the idea is that maybe the son went like
Did something
"Daddy,
crazy?"
now I'm the father, and then like he had to go and
Was
kill
his
the son.
son
Holy
big
shit.
at the time? Because I
No.
remember back
Very
in the
small.
day, it was a thing where we had a bunch of friends who were like not going into puberty yet. Like I remember there were a lot of, it was like around that age, and there were a lot of little boys I knew who were getting shot up with, I don't know if it was HGH, but they were just going to doctors, be like, they haven't started puberty yet. Let's
Yeah,
get
it's
this
gonna
going.
let the janitor play with his penis, make him an adult before his
Yes,
time.
exactly.
But they had to go in. My buddy Eddie, was doing steroids in high school football. They were obsessed with it. But it's also just because he's just a lifetime of fighting. It's kind of the same thing on why a lot of football players end up doing horrible crimes because and anybody in a very aggressive sport because they're essentially
You get hit in
trained.
the head for a living.
Yeah, you're just trained to beat
Yeah.
the shit out of people. It's gonna bleed into your life, which is horrible. A lot of them don't do it, but a lot of them do because they lose the grip.
All right, well, we got to jump to a little thing that we like to call. You have to make some music. Can you make music noises? Can you?
I was just going to go.
Here, wait.
There you go.
All right,
Dance
wait, hang on. We'll do it. Ready? This is a little thing we like to call the credit dunk. Credit dunk. Credit dunk. Gonna ask you about your credits.
Splish, splish,
Dunk.
splish, 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 splish,
IMDb it. Here we go.
That's me sticking my butt in and out of a bucket
Michael
of-
and Michael Have Issues is your first credit on IMDb.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is
Yes.
that your first TV credit?
Well, I have one other that I don't like to talk about. It was right before that.
Tell me about it!
I did one called Silent Library where I was the punishment. I was on Craigslist.
I remember Silent Library.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. It was the VH1
shit.
show.
I remember that.
And so there was a Craigslist ad looking for men with hairy bodies to get on television. I was like, that's me. Because I've had back hair since I was
How
11
did you
years
not
old.
wind up on that show, Steven?
I didn't live. I didn't,
He made the ad.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Logan. Come on. Fucking Logan.
But I sent a picture of my body hair to them, and the guy said, "You're great." And then the idea was that in Silent Library is that everyone had it was a series of punishments, and the contestants had to remain completely silent. And if they lost, if they made any noise, they'd have to do a punishment. And I was one of the punishments where I had to come out, and I had sausages made out of suspender sausages on my pants, and they had to eat them off my body.
Holy.
Were they
shit.
cooked?
I guess so. I don't give a shit. I hope they were the worst groups of fucks on the face of the planet. It was some weird screamo bands that were like the contestants, and they were terrible. But that was, and then right after that, I got Michael Have Issues, and that was because of Kumail Nanjiani. He essentially got me booked on that job.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because we were friends coming up in sketch in New York when he had just moved to New York, and then he booked that job, and then he pulled my tape. He got me my first foot in.
I love that guy. He's super nice.
He's a good dude.
My first gig I ever had was on a show called Carpoolers with TJ Miller.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It was TJ's first job.
TJ's also a good motherfucker who's remembered me. I did the character showcase in Montreal. Oh, wow. And he hosted it, and ever since then, he always helps me. He's a good dude. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Fireball's
yeah.
going down the wrong pipe.
Yep, Fireball starting to rock and roll. That's what we need. Let's drop. Boom. We're going to another show called Girls. You were on the show Girls.
See.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I didn't know it was before it was supposed to be a thing. I had no clue who these people were. It was before the season came out. I hung out in like a triple banger with Adam Driver before he was anything, and he just rolled over. He's like, "You want to roll? You want to like rehearse a scene and shit?" So it's like we hung out for like the afternoon. And he was like a cool dude, and I just improv'd everything. And
was your scene with him? Who was your scene with?
it was me and Adam Driver, and then Lena was there too.
Did you have any idea then that he'd become someday Darth Millennial?
I knew he was hot.
Yeah.
He's got that natural V.
Yeah.
He's got that V-shaped body, and he's got like those nice tight abs, and he's got a big penis and shit like that. He's got
See
a
a
good
hot guy,
face.
Logan? What's your opinion?
Is that your type, or are you more into the French-Canadian mimes? What's your...
Canadian mind.
Marcel Marceau. That's her
what's
favorite.
They have to pretend like they're trapped before I meet them. That's
He's available.
No, he's as soon as people are too into someone, I get annoyed.
I get it.
So I will agree that I do like his bod. He's got mean eyes to me.
He is. I think he's got mean bones.
Mean
You know what I mean?
bones?
He's got mean genes.
He looks like he comes. It makes sense that he plays villainous characters. Like he looks like, regardless if that's who he is as a person.
Yeah.
But he just.
if you saw, I just saw that movie where he was in this, where he was a scientist, and there was the kid with the eyes that are lights. You know, he was an alien kid or
Yes,
something.
that was
Oh,
good.
wait.
Another dimension.
Gimme Shelter or something
No.
like that?
Oh, I know what you're talking. No.
No.
It's and Kirsten Dunst was in it.
Kirsten Dunst was in
I
it
saw that too.
What the fuck was that movie
It was an
called?
alien movie that was like kind of cool, but then all of a sudden,
Damn it,
all the
the
aliens
hell.
looked like they were angels, and I was like, "This is
Yeah,
lame.
they were all
Did Kirsten Dunst play an alien? Because
aliens.
I've seen her in real life, and she looks kind of.
She played the mom of an alien, so
Oh. She's
she
got
either had
alien
sex
genes.
with an alien or
Yeah.
is an alien. You
I
can-
kind of like Melancholia. That was good, but she was sad.
Sad.
Yeah, but in
Weird
that one,
that the name would
Right?
You'd think it'd be a rom com.
Yeah, you think you'd laugh a lot. I was like, be sarcastic with me. Don't just just don't have me like a movie just called Sadness.
yeah,
I'm trying to remember what
yeah,
it's called.
Melancholia was fucking depressing.
I was sad.
Yeah,
But
but
I-
in Adam Driver in this movie, which I can't remember the name of, I feel like a real asshole because our whole show is all about talking about things like this.
fucked up.
But I saw the damn movie. I'm pulling it up right now. He's in this movie, and then he's got the Midnight Special. That was
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was in also with my boy. I love Michael Shannon, man.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
Michael Shannon.
Here's the thing, though, is it's weird because Adam is not scary in that movie
No.
or mean, and he's supposed to just be like a nice guy.
Kind of cute
And
doctor, yeah.
And you kind of look at his face and you're like, no, dude, no, you're like the top, you're like the guy.
The evil one.
He has a like William Dafoe, like he's like that. He's like our William Dafoe.
As he gets older and becomes less traditionally hot and more like crusted over, I think he will just play only villains. Once it's over that,
probably.
because right now he's got the body.
Right.
He's got
a
like good
great-
little
he's got a
nipples.
great-
Like he looks really good. But
He's
then
got
if you
nice
look,
nipples.
if Willem Dafoe's got the same thing, rockin' body. Also,
nips.
and he's got a hanger on him too, because
Yeah.
I saw some other movie where he was completely nude, and he is smuggling some Capicola down there. He's really very well.
Well, that's why he's in Finding Nemo. They're like, we need a fish with a huge penis.
Now-
to use his voice.
Here, you look at sometimes at someone's credits of some stuff they've worked on or things they've done, and you kind of see like the leap. You see like, oh shit, you went from being a guy who was like on a couple shows and you're doing a couple like all sorts of good projects, but
Yeah.
a little a part here, a little part here, and then you do Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's a fucking enormous leap. Was that? Did it feel like an enormous leap,
Well-
or is it? Or am I misjudging this? Was there something in between that I'm missing?
The two things that happened at once is I booked Pretty Face and Wolf within 2 months of each other.
Do you feel like Pretty Face helped you?
No.
No.
Opposite.
Opposite.
They actually almost wanted to pull me from Wolf because there was 1 day overlap between productions of the first season
Whoa.
of Pretty Face and Wolf, and they wanted to pull. Like Wolf was like, he's gonna come do Wolf Wall Street. We don't care if it's about a day, but they were like cool as fuck, and it ended up being like great, and it worked out fine because Scorsese doesn't give a shit, and so he was like, yeah, whatever. He was awesome. Also, all booked in the room. Never had a job. Easiest job I've ever gotten. Which is insane because now I've been doing pilots and shit, which is also ludicrous. Where it's like Scorsese literally hired us in the room. Just was like, yeah, we'll hire all of them, which is crazy.
Yeah, we just had
shit.
Paul Sorvino on the show, and he talked about how Scorsese
Yeah, Paul was on yesterday.
He said Scorsese was the nicest director he's ever worked with, and that he said like he just lets the actors like figure it out.
Yep. Good mother, great. He just lets you do the work. That's why he hires you. And I kept, because during the process, we're all like, I hope we're doing good. And they're like, you'd know if you were doing bad because he'd fire you. I'm like, oh, cool, all right. But that obviously was a thing. So I worked through that whole time. I worked through 2012, and it was huge. But the problem is that once before Wolf came out, I couldn't get arrested for 2013. I ran out of money. Like, I had to go back to almost temping, which is like I had been working professionally for a little bit, and so it was kind of scary. I thought everything was over. But then when Wolf came out, things changed. Then it was like a little bit easier to get around, but it's like it's kind of still the same. You know what I mean? Like, you just discover there's a working level. I've seen people blow up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching my buddy Jermaine Fowler just like blow up.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. I mean, Superior Donuts is fantastic.
Great.
He's awesome on it.
He knows
and
what
he's
he's
on
doing.
and he's on Crashing at the same time.
Yeah. He's doing all the tiny stuff I'm doing, and he's a superstar. He's, like, doing great. Whereas just, like, Matt Servito, Satan from Your Pretty Faces, like, kind of explained a lot of being like, it's just a long game. You're just going to work, and you just got to bank when you can and work whenever you can, and then, like, there's going to be major dry spells. He's like, there will be, no matter how good you are, unless you are a superstar, unless you're one of the top 20 movie stars of all time, every single actor goes through horseshit years. Where you're just not going to book anything.
Dude, Dave Keckner and me just did the Laugh Factory the other night, and he was like, I said, I'm really excited because I got a call back for Transformers, for one of the Autobots, and I was so excited. And he goes, buddy, come on, man. You're gonna be we're character guys. We're gonna be working for the rest of our fucking lives. No one's gonna know our name.
Yep, I love that idea.
We'll get recognized for the rest of our fucking life. You just keep fucking working. That's the key. You never stop, buddy.
You just try not to say. That's what Servito was saying. The same thing with stuff like you just try not to say no too much. Even if you're doing dumb shit, it's better to be working than not working.
Yeah,
like you just
100%.
Because you got to be out there, and it's also flexing the muscle.
Yeah,
it's about it's doing as much as you can all the time. It's like with with Last Podcast, it's like we do our once a week podcast, which is an hour and a half. Then we do a live stream for AdultSwim.com on Tuesdays nights, which is another just like keeping it running, keep the mouth fucking blah, 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 blah. And then we do live shows all over the country. And so that's another layer of just like keep the butt wet of your comedy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so fucking great. What about what do you like to eat? What's your favorite foods?
Me like the Asian.
Yeah.
Do you like tips of thumbs?
Do you like
fucking
do you like
garlicky
Gengis
thumbs?
Cohen, our favorite Chinese restaurant, which we're recording out of right now?
Yum, 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 yum.
I like Chinese food. The problem is very heavy. Yeah. So I've been changing a lot to do a lot of different. I try different Asian styles. I like a sushi if I can get it. I'm
nice
a big
sushi is great.
Mexicanto dude. I
Sure.
like anything Mexican pretty much. I'm one of those. I'm kind of like a little bit of the foodie dude where it's I got nothing going on. Like I'll put together a map of like best breakfast burritos and I'll just hit different breakfast burritos. It's to fill the void.
Have you been to Lucky Boy yet?
Is Lucky Boy the one in Pasadena?
It is in Pasadena.
The one with it's like 10 strips of bacon and shit.
Yeah,
and it's like
but you want to get sausage, I'm going to say.
What?
And you want to add avocado.
I'm
just
going
like
back.
giving you a hot tip. If you take nothing away from this experience.
That's huge for me.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That's good.
I like a good breakfast burrito
Yeah,
too.
I love a breakfast burrito. That's
Okay,
my
now,
shit.
How do you feel about Indian food? Where do you stand when it comes to Indian food?
I like an Indian food again, but the problem is that it's just so heavy. And also, I like nearly shit my pants pretty much every single time I have it. I get sick.
I'm not a fan. I used to work for a company where all the employees were from India except for me. It was 20 people, and I was the only non-Indian employee.
It's just so heavy.
And like we would go for these company lunches like every Friday, and I was just like, I can't eat this. And then the desserts
You can't have
gross
plans
me out.
after. You
Because
can't have plans
they're all
after.
like sweet, but they're like
Yogurty
custardy and stuff. And it
I
grosses
will
me.
say
I don't like the texture.
across the board, like, because I cultures like that are not in some way kind of Western, their desserts, I just don't care. I feel like, and it's
just
the
don't-
other thing is like that's not why you're going there to begin with.
Yeah.
They don't
You're-
concentrate on desserts.
Yeah,
The Italians have it.
Yeah, like
the
I've been
French have it.
I've
Yeah.
been in China and like they were like serving dessert after Chinese food. It's like it's these weird, lychee cream thing, and I was like, I'll pass. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Give me
don't
some more
need it.
deep fried beef. That's what I want. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
See, I like this shit. Like, I like all the like assholes and organ meat and all of that stuff. I think that stuff's fun. I like when they core out a goat, and I'll just eat whatever they core.
Do you ever watch Bizarre Foods?
Yeah, he's okay. I get mad at him though. I get mad at a lot of cooking shows. I feel like in the end, I watch a lot of food-based shows.
Oh, I'm really excited about this. I feel like this is niche, but we could talk about
Great
Yeah,
British
please.
Bake Off.
obsessed.
Good
Great
show.
British Bake Off is it is a sweethearted. It's got a heart to it. Also,
It's so nice.
Genuine, and it's also I love the reason I like it is the Great British Bake Off. They'll be like, we're gonna bake a classic, like everyone in England knows about this, and then they'll mention a food item.
I don't know what it
you've
is.
never
Dan,
heard.
and you're like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Like everyone's making our lemon drizzle poppy loaf, and it's like it's a recipe
Yeah.
that's been passed down for generations. You're like, no
never
one in
heard of
America.
it.
And then
Yeah.
one time, a lady was making a peanut butter grape jelly flavor thing, and the host was like, "That sounds like a horrible combination." And the lady was trying to. She was like, "It's a classic combination," and
yeah.
he was like, "No, it's
No,
not."
I don't
And I was
like
like,
it.
"But so that show feels
a good show.
genuine. The Food Network feels like insane now.
It's
it
the
just
Guy
feels,
Fieri channel.
Yeah, it's just them trying to be
They're
like,
all competitions now.
yeah, it's too much competitions. Except
I
for
don't-
Cooks versus Cons, great show.
Man,
Chopped.
I will talk about
I will-
Cooks versus Cons because
Please.
Chopped is great.
Cooks versus Cons drives me nuts because of the commentators. The commentators are being like, "That's a con move. That's a chef move." When they keep talking about it, being like, "Just let him fucking cook." And I was like, in the end, where it's like they always flip it now because the ones that are most like the chefs are obviously the
Are
cons.
gonna be the
and
cons.
That's how they edit it. They're
Yeah.
fooling us.
It's
on
all in
purpose.
editing.
They know, no, it's all. And I will say, my 18th birthday party was Iron Chef themed. I had all my friends come over. My parents picked a theme ingredient. It was cheese. We were divided into 3 teams, and then we had my high school advisor come to my house and judge it.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
It was a pretty big day.
Did you win?
No, I did not. None of us could cook. That was the thing that was hilarious. It was just us making our high school advisor eat
Bad food.
horrible food that was not
He was
cooked
like-
well.
Potential.
No, I still like to this day. My one friend, she bought like raw pizza dough. She wrapped cheese in it, tried to cook it for a little, and put like 2 sad olive eyes and 2 little spinach leaves as ears, and it looked like a little dead bunny. And to this day, I still picture him looking at it and just being like, "God damn it!"
Like, why did I agree to do
Well, I
this?
think about that all of that with those kids cooking competitions. It's like these kids suck for the most part. It's like they're kids. They shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
I don't want to eat the food that a kid. Their hands are in all types
Yeah.
of places.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't
Master
like
Chef
that.
Junior.
No.
I'm like, nah, I don't want to eat that kid's food.
That
Yeah,
sounds
because
horrible.
their lives are just now going to start horrible.
Yeah.
I was on Cupcake Wars. I was a judge.
So
Really?
I think I saw you and I was jealous of you. I was like, how do I get in there? I want to be a judge.
Can I?
You want? Yeah, sure. Ask anything.
My question is like when they're, I can understand judging like real food and be like, this is shitty, this is not. Like even a shitty cupcake from like Vaughn's is still like, it's sugary, it has frosting, like it's fine. Like I can't imagine when
There's
they're
layers.
like this part is bad. I'm like, it's a cupcake. How can you?
Well, there's a couple things. So, it's judged on taste, right? It's
Yeah.
judged
Presentation.
on presentation and
Creativity,
And creativity,
I believe.
Right? Okay.
Was this for
No, I
storks?
don't.
This was for Big Time
Time
Rush.
Awesome.
I wish it was for storks. I would have had so much more fun. But yeah, I did enough for storks. Like I did
Yes.
plenty for storks.
You were out there.
I threw out the first baseball at the Padre game for
That's
storks.
incredible.
Like that, and I have a pigeon.
And that was
Cody,
the first baseball you'd thrown in like 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years, and Matt went with me.
Did you make it across
I
the
made
plate?
it across
Great
the plate
pitch?
into the. Yeah, I got it.
Great pitch.
I
Threw
got
a
it.
strike.
They got it, and I kept
From the mound.
and I got a from the mound, and I got the shirt, a Padre jersey that says Pigeon Toady on the back with my birthday.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
cute
"Are you
as
fucking
fuck."
kidding me?"
That is great.
Yeah, it was so rad. That was the best.
All right, so when
Wait,
you get the
Cupcake Wars,
cupcakes,
yeah.
So Cupcake Wars. I get to Cupcake Wars, and they say to me, "Is there anything you're allergic to, Mr. Glickman? Anything at all?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm kosher, so I'm kosher-ish. I can't eat milk and meat together, so no meat. And that's obvious, but
Yeah.
also no shellfish, and I don't eat pork." And
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah.
"Well, that's fine.
Cupcakes.
Don't
Yeah.
they're cupcakes."
Yep,
First cupcake that came out was a cream cheese bacon cupcake.
unbelievable.
Barbecue pork.
Barbecue pork,
Yeah.
cream cheese cupcake, and I was like, I can't eat this. And I look over at the producer, and she goes, "Just fucking eat it," like that. That's what she said from the wings. Just fucking eat it. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I'm like, so I
It's like
nibbled a little bit of it. and then-
Thousands of years.
Yeah. Oh my god. So
Yeah,
like, I
you
just,
In
like,
her
I was
head,
like,
she's like,
You're like, the guilt.
another just
The
a
guilt.
Jew in Hollywood just
son of
causing
a bitch.
problems.
So like I put it down, and then then there was one girl who was making cupcakes that were they were awful, and she wouldn't add any sugar.
Were those the
to, like,
sour
any-
gummy worm
Yeah, they
ones?
were sour
Oh,
gummy
like-
worm. They were fucking gross. They tasted like shit, and then she didn't know how to decorate, so she covered everything in glitter, and then she took white chocolate shoved a big stick of it into one of the cupcakes and then tried to melt the chocolate into it, so it just became like hard as a fucking rock. Right.
Well, fondant's gross too. I hate when they put fondant all over
gross.
I know fondant's bad too. So, anyways, long story short, I couple days before, it's 2 days before the show came out on Cupcake Wars, and I ate something like 15 cupcakes that day. I think I got diabetes that day. It was no joke. And I had so many fucking cupcakes because you have to eat like half of each one.
You can't just like take a little baby bite.
No,
What if it
you
sucks?
have
Are
to
you allowed to be like, I don't like it?
You have to take at least like a nice sized bite of each cupcake, or
to get all the elements.
to be able to get it all in there. Yeah, and they fill it with stuff too.
Do you get a palate cleanser? You provided with like.
I think they have water and crackers or something.
How does
But
Padma Lakshmi look the way she does after
that
running that
woman
bullshit?
is a living
It's gorgeous.
goddess.
Yes, she is gorgeous. How does she stay so tight?
And Floria, is that his name?
Yeah,
the chef,
French guy.
Him and I we still talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we just texted each other like yesterday.
So
Or-
tell me, do you want to maybe
Where?
come by my show?
Ooh, can you actually ask him?
Yes.
If he was gonna pick a place where the cupcakes are actually worth it, where would he say?
Yeah, give us that
And
info.
because I would like to know.
I'll send it to him
Inside
before we
information.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but how long are you sitting there judging?
Well, we were there for
6 hours. It
6
was
hours.
a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. But here's the big reveal is a couple days before the episode came out. I'm over at Ketsuya. I'm drunk.
Yep.
Okay, walking out of the place. TMZ comes right up to me and they go, "Hey, Steven, we hear you're gonna be on Cupcake Wars. How was it?" And I go, "Well, it was fucking gross." And they go, "Excuse me?" And I go, I'll tell you guys what happened. I said, I did not eat milk and meat. I did not eat this. I don't eat that. And they fucking made me eat a barbecue pork cupcake. I was like, what the fuck kind of fucking bullshit is this? Like, my whole Jewish families, they're all mad at me now. And, and they wouldn't even apologize. And they put it up on TV and they put it up online. And the article said, Big Time Rush Star gets screwed by Cupcake Wars.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So I get a phone call from Nickelodeon, and they're like,
What'd you
"Steven,
do?" Yeah.
You're not. Cupcake Wars just called us, and they said Food Network will never work with Nickelodeon ever again because of this.
Oh my god!
Like, you owe them such an enormous apology. Like, you have to go on TV and apologize or something. And I was like, what the fuck? I was just drunk, and and they're a bunch of assholes, and they shouldn't. And they were like, also, they're not going to pay you now because you revealed secrets about the show. Like, you revealed items that were in the cupcakes. You've ruined the episode for people.
Oh my god!
And I was like, this is fucking crazy, right? So then my manager calls me. He's like, Steven, like, people are upset at Viacom. Like, you've made like a lot of enemies and everyone's fucking mad at me. And I'm like trying to write letters to apologize. As I'm doing all of this, one of these fucking 2.5 million Twitter follower kids on Nickelodeon gets off an airplane at LAX. They fucking run up to him, TMZ. They're like, "Hey, did you hear about this whole thing going on with Steven Glickman?" He's like, "What happened to my buddy Steven Glickman?" They're like, "Well, I mean, he had this kosher thing with, Cupcake Wars. I mean, is that even real? Is he even like really Jewish?" And this kid goes, Steven Kramer Glickman is the most Jewish guy I know. He follows all the kosher laws, and if the Food Network doesn't apologize for being so insensitive to his culture and to his religion, I feel like that's a huge screw up on their part.
Anti-Semites.
It was this close
the
to
Nazis
them
over at
calling
the
him
Food Network.
anti-Semitism. And fucking Food Network sent over a basket of cupcakes as an apology to me, and then wrote back to Viacom and said, "Hope we can restore our relationship with you guys. Sorry, it was some sort of miscommunication." But that article from TMZ is still on the internet.
What you don't know though, Steven, the cupcakes sent over made with bacon grease.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they were
But
delicious though.
I
They
do
were
love
fucking
the idea
delicious.
of you sitting with like seasoned war vets and them being like, "My time in the war," and you're like, "My war is hell," and I'll tell you why.
you what I've seen.
I've eaten some cupcakes. Well, we got to wrap this up, Sugar Pie. But before we wrap it up, coming up next for you, Henry, what's coming up next? Trauma Fist? Is this
Fist is not really a thing.
Okay, good. All right, I wasn't sure. It's in your things.
It's
That's
in
why.
there. Trauma they're very into it. I've been working with Trauma, and I know Lloyd and working with them. They're a fun ass bunch. I did Return to Nukem High 2.
Great company that did Surf Nazis Must Die,
They're
Toxic
nuts.
Avenger.
Return to Nukem High, aka Volume 2. You were in that one as well.
Yeah.
When is Your Pretty Face Going to Hell season
3.5.
3.5? When does that come out?
It actually came out last Sunday. Started April 2nd, and we're going every Sunday at 11:30 p.m. on Adult Swim.
Oh
Sunday,
my God, that's
Sunday,
amazing!
Sunday.
Dude, it's such a fucking great show.
Our new shit's better too.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, man.
All
Coming
of
in and chatting with
this
us
is the
about
best.
this.
Thank you guys
So
so much for
rad.
having me.
No,
I'll
you're
talk
so
Food
awesome.
Network all the time.
And I never have people to talk about it with, like, enough where
I have a deep working knowledge.
I've been with Food Network since, I want to say, day one.
High school.
And I was watching it when I feel like you should turn this off now because this is going to go for like 6 hours.
Iron Chef, though, I'm still mad about Iron Chef. They're trying to bring it back, and I'm really fucking
bringing it
I
back,
was in
yeah.
it for OG Iron Chef,
Yeah,
where they
I
were
put-
like serving
with the
octopus that was still
anglerfish and shit,
moving.
like, oh, yeah.
Japanese
fucking-
Iron Chef.
Japanese Iron
It
Chef.
was a
Iron
real
Chef.
competition. They took it really seriously.
Yes.
And now these fucking guys
Chef
act like it's a
Hiroyuki
game.
Sakai.
He was great.
He was great.
I love Chairman Kaga.
Chairman Kaga. who
Biting
was
into that pepper.
like an apple.
What a psycho.
I like
I
cuisine.
love it. I love it.
Well, yeah, check out Last Podcast on the Left on Cave Comedy Radio, iTunes. We normally drop every Thursday.
Awesome. So fucking cool. You're
Thank
the best.
you.
Dude, thank you for coming and hanging out.
Thank you.
And audience, if you haven't seen Crashing, it's literally worth getting HBO just to watch this show. It really, really shows you what it feels like to be a stand-up comedian.
It's miserable.
Yeah, it's miserable. It's
That's
fucking
pretty accurate.
rough.
Yeah.
But Henry, you're the fucking coolest. Thanks for coming to do this, man.
Thank
You're
you
the
for
best.
having me.
All right, where can people find you on the internet?
At Henry Loves You on Twitter and at Dr. Fantasty on Instagram.
Yeah. What about you, Logan? Where can people find you?
On Twitter, I'm at Dirty Guntz, Guntz, and on Instagram, I'm at Places I Took a Shit This Year. So
So fucking great.
Good one.
I
This
love
is a
it.
good standard, strong novelty one. So my Dr. Fantasty ones comes from my Halo gamer tag from college.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
I liked driving that ghost in Halo.
Oh, yeah.
I was a hammer guy. I like
That was
that.
the best. Oh shit! What about you, Matt? Where can people find you?
You can find links to everything at funnymatt.com, or if you do not like my work on this show, let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
Just a real website where people do let you know.
I put all
that
my
you're
hate
a big
mail on
piece
there.
of shit.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Collect it and use it. Flip the energy. That's
Yeah.
chaos magic. Man.
You bet. You can always get me at Stephen Glickman on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast, leave comments, and also share with your friends. Guys, this has been amazing. Henry Zebrowski, we love you. Thank you.
Hail Satan. Thank you for having me.
Destiny.